You good, man. You
All right,
good.
perfect.
You good money. All right, let's get started.
The logo.
What's no, imports, I'm moving it in 5 seconds. So we not even going down that road today. We're not playing that game. Let me explain to y'all. So I'll do it after we live, but Porsche be on that bullshit. But neither here nor there.
Oh,
She really do.
I gotta go at 8 o'clock because my sister's getting her vaccine. So just 11 your time. Just
Oh
FYI.
yeah, that's no.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be done with that. But all right, let's go. What's good? What's good? What's good? You are tuning in to Apartment 5B, hosted by your man Kill, packed house as always. Let's get it started. Ladies first. Porsche, what's going on, miss?
Not a whole lot, Kill. How are you?
Everything is good. Everything is good. No need to complain. My man Greg Boogie out of Queens. What's good, bro?
I'm chilling. How you feeling?
Man, everything is good. B, just glad to be back in effect with y'all, man. Like I've shared plenty of times, man. Like the appreciation of just the team and everybody who joins this show, especially during these COVID times, has been dope, man. You know what I mean? Just being able to connect and talk about the culture we love and music just has made this last 14 months that more able to get through. So again, just appreciating y'all making time to be here. JR, the R&B guru, R&B rep, everything R&B. What's going on, bro?
None. This is my Friday, so y'all know where I'm at. I'm feeling nice, so let's do this.
We already know with that. Neltron out of NO. What's going on, good brother?
Peace, everybody. What's up, Kel? What's up, Porsche? Finally get to do a show with you.
Yeah.
Greg Boogie, JR, Rel. What's up, everybody? I'm just happy to be here.
No doubt, good brother. No doubt. We got my man Rel out of Philly. What's going on, bro?
Chilling, man. Happy to be here as always.
All right. You already know what it is with me. Yo, let's jump right into it. So the other day I was thinking, like, me and one of my people from Philly were reminiscing. All right, we got Mixed Messiah in the building. What's going on, bro? You good?
Not a whole lot. I'm having technical difficulty.
Oh,
I hope everybody's good. Definitely glad to be here. Ready to, tell some dope stories.
All right, no doubt. So what I was saying is earlier in the week, me and one of my people from Philly, we was just chopping it up, laughing at all these crazy stories we had about buying records and the stories that came with it and everything like that. So, it made me realize that this next generation of hip hop lovers aren't going to know anything about buying records. Hold on for a second. Does somebody have some birds chirping?
Some what?
Sound like birds. Oh, I think it may be mixed. No, it's not mixed. Hold on, let me see. All right, Mix is frozen. Hold on, I'm trying to get it. You good, Mix?
I could hear you, but it's scrambled up. Let me leave and come back.
All right, so we'll put a pause in that. Yeah, I don't want to tell this Porsche story because I'm gonna fucking forget to edit this shit out. So I'll just wait until we offline. But Porsche, you be on that bullshit too. But
Kill, just don't fire me in an empty chair. That's all.
Okay.
No, here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Because I want to do one of our Twitter spaces about that topic. You know what I mean? And about friendship and business and everything like that.
Yeah. Like, can you do business with friends?
Right. Mix, you good this time?
I think so. Let me turn mine.
Mix, you good?
I can't hear anything now. It's crazy.
Mix.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
All right, so you good? You good?
I can hear you now, yeah.
All right, so you good?
Yeah, right now I'm good.
All right.
Sorry about that. This is crazy. It's scrambling up.
Try not to move the phone because that keeps making noise every time you move it. All right, so you good?
Not really, but yeah.
Yo, this is like that time with Easton. We was trying to get
Yes.
on all day.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Like all right, so you good for right now, Mix? No, you not.
He froze.
I don't see his lips moving.
Right on.
Yeah, he
Oh,
froze
wow.
up. All right.
That was kind of wild.
All right. But yeah, if you can do friendship and business, all that things, and I think all the things that have to happen in order to make that be successful, because at the end of the day, and I'll tell the story again when we do the show. I learned in 11th grade at 16 years old, and when Mo Better Blues, y'all seen Mo Better Blues, right?
Yes, sir.
When Bleak and Shadow were arguing, and that nigga told Shadow, "Is that your name out on the marquee?"
Mm.
And if it's not, until that mystical, magical, majestical day comes,
Day come. Yep.
fuck, I want you to do.
Right.
Now that sounds horrible. So when I'm watching Joe and Rory and them on that show when they were doing it, I felt like I was like Ayanna Van Zandt. Like I need to come in and relationship coach this shit. And I would have easily done this one thing. I would have said, here's the problem. All three of y'all think y'all the boss. That's the problem. Now, what I need everybody to do on their phone is to bring up their bank account and your last direct deposit. I want you to turn your phones over and put them down. I'm going to look at each person's phone and I'm going to hand the phone of the person who has the highest paycheck, and that person is the boss. And I would have looked at Joe's phone because I'm sure Joe gets paid more than more whatever their names is, Rory and Mal or whatever.
Yeah.
And been like, that's the problem. Y'all niggas think this is it's called the Joe Budden Podcast.
I was just about to say that. It's called Joe Budden, like duh.
So I understand Joe saying, Mal, why would I have to come to you to tell Rory to stay home? Like I'm asking you permission. Like, so I feel Joe where he's like, y'all niggas got this shit fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? But the problem is that's always when money comes into play. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's like, let me hold up. Is Mix here? Let me see if I can get Mix in.
Now it's even worse.
We going through.
All right. We just gonna start all over again. So I ain't gotta edit none of that shit out. So we just gotta do this one more time. All right, let's go. What's good? You are tuning Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. Got my squad with me in effect as always. Little sis Porsche, what's good?
Not a whole lot, Kill. How are you?
Everything is great. Greg Boogie.
Yeah, I'm here.
Greg Boogie.
You know what? I'm here. I'm
Right.
here with no technical difficulty.
There you go. We
gonna leave it at that.
And we ready to rock. Rel, all the sneakers, Philadelphia, 76ers gear in effect. What's going on, good brother?
I'm here and I'm good, Kill.
I know that.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I
Now
love it.
try. What's going on, good brother?
Peace, good people. Thanks for inviting me. My man Stevie Wonder's birthday. Shout out to Stevie today.
Taurus.
Happy to be here.
No doubt. JR, the R&B guru, R&B rap, repping the Trey Lee glory in the Knicks. I'm happy for your Knicks, man. You know
I
what mean,
appreciate it.
I'm
Thank
happy for the
you.
Knicks. I've always said the NBA is doper when New York is competitive. You know what I mean? So
indeed.
I think it makes the whole system doper. Yo, today we are going to be chopping it up about your just 5 or however many you have of dope record buying adventures. And what I mean by that is like maybe about a week ago, I was chopping it up with my man who I grew up with in Philly. And we were just talking about all the fun we used to have, going throughout Philly to different record stores to get records. I mean, y'all see what's behind me. I mean, I got a million stories of just vinyl in itself. And JR's been to the crib before. Like, this is only a little bit. There's vinyl in Nate's room. There's vinyl in the hall closet, in the closet downstairs. So I've got a million stories just in digging. But also just about him buying records. And the thing is that there's going to be a whole generation of people who just, when an album drops, they just look at their phone at midnight and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is no, and I don't know about, I'm interested to hear from you guys. Like, I feel like some of these albums I'm about to talk about, I have a extra special relationship with because of the shit I had to go through to buy the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just a simple purchase of you just look at your phone. And Rel, you're a sneakerhead, so maybe you could relate to this. Maybe, oh God, if Nate's 15, maybe about, I guess 15, 16 years ago. I used to be that dude who'd get up at 4 a.m, go to the mall, sitting in line for 6 hours until the store opened and everything like that. And then one day I was gonna do it, and my man was like, "Yo, just go to East Bay." I was like, "Word, East Bay got joints now? They got joints?" He was like, "Yeah." So I go to East Bay, and I'm sitting there like, "Yo, you mean I could just buy these? I don't gotta get up early and go through none of this hassle." And I brought them. But then, like, the next day, it was just like, yo, it ain't the same. Like, it was more convenient.
It ain't the same.
It was more convenient, but it was the process of getting up early, going to sit in line. You talking to other sneakerheads. You know, you're conversing, you're meeting people. Then it's like you're on the edge of your seat. Like, are they gonna have my size? Am I gonna have to go to another store? And so it's like it's one of those things that it looks good on paper. That you could just, the new such and such album come out at midnight. Oh, I ain't gotta go nowhere, but I realized that was part of the fun. Like, that's part of the love I have for these albums is the hunt. It's the hunt of it. You know what I mean? Tip said in a magazine article once, I think it was Rap Pages with Bobbito way back in the day, and he said, I'm on a never-ending quest for vinyl. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's that hunt that, there's been times when I've gotten a lot of the records I wanted, and I've got to come up with new ways to keep me interested in digging. So it's like, you know what? I want to get all the Black Exploitation soundtracks. So it's like, okay, got something else to get me pumped up about. So we're just going to be talking about some of our dopest record buying stories in the game. So Porsche, why don't you set us off with one, miss?
Sure. Again, like, I know I talk about this all the time. So just quickly, for people who may not know, I grew up in about like literally north of North Dakota. So the middle of nowhere, Canada, the prairies, very, very difficult to get any hip hop at all. And for a long time, up until my teen years, it was my older brother's friend who was going down to California, getting albums and then tapes and then giving us copies of it or the actual cassette. So my first sort of memory of acquiring my own was when ODB's Return of the 36 dropped. And I know I've mentioned this before. We had one store there that sold CDs, and it was called HMV, which was all across Canada, but we only had one HMV, and the rap section was one little aisle within a entire store of albums. So everything was like world and punk and folk and polka and like, I don't know, just everything. And then you would go to like the rap section, and it was literally like, I don't know, probably about 40 CDs long. Or 40 CDs long and just one aisle, right? So I go and I ask for ODB's Return of the 36, and the guy looks it up on his computer, and he says, "We're not getting that album. It's banned here." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "But everyone has it. Like, it's in magazines." And he was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be getting it in. We can't bring it in." So I ended up like really upset. And then I had to wait until we went down to the States to get it. Luckily, I've always lived in parts of Canada that are like literally an hour to the border and 2 hours to the next US city. Currently, I live that close as well. So it's always good. So ODB's Return of the 36, I'll never forget it. I had to wait until the States to go and get that album. And I got it late. Like, I couldn't get it when it dropped. I went to get it when it dropped, but it didn't happen.
So tell me this, what's the closest state to you? Like, where did you have to go to cop it?
North Dakota. Fargo, wow. North Dakota.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You had to go to Fargo, North Dakota. Like Fargo, like the movie in the series?
I've never seen the movie, but I think
you gotta watch Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo, North Dakota, I believe, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let me start with mine, and I'm gonna start from like the beginning. Let me see if I can get Mix in the mix right now. Mix Messiah, you there, good brother?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Sorry about all the inconvenience, y'all.
Oh, it's all good, brother. It's all good. It's all good. Technical difficulties happen. I'm gonna go back to the beginning at the top of the list, like P would say, and start where I think my record addiction started. Every summer, I would spend the summer in Fort Greene, Brooklyn with my cousins. So from like first grade to probably 8th or 9th grade, I was going. And it probably was around, I fell in love with hip hop in '84 with Run DMC's first debut, all that stuff. So by 86, I'm 12, I'm in 7th grade, and my mom's gonna give me like $400 or $500 to stay for the entire summer. You know what I mean? And it was like, yo, this money is to last you the entire summer. And I'm like, yo, I got you, we good. Yo, I swear to you, the second we touched down in Brooklyn, I told my cousins, take me to Beach Street, which was right in the Albee Square Mall back in the day, right next to it. And I'm talking about the Beach Street where you had to go up the stairs. And I would spend the whole $500, like literally, like within that first week, and would have to beg my aunt to not tell my mom's, like, and ask her to have to pay for me for the rest of the summer. like this is June till August. You know what I mean? And just, you know, it was just what I was willing. And I was willing, like, one of the things I do want to talk about is kind of like what we were willing to do for hip hop. Like, a lot of this generation not only will not know about not having the enjoyment of being able to buy a record and have these stories that we're sharing, but this generation will also never know about what it was like willing to put your life on the line when your mom's just like, yo, if you listen to that hip hop shit one more time, that's your ass. Or, you know, don't be playing that Lottie Dottie in my house with that Kurt. Like, this generation won't know because they got in their AirPods all the time. And most parents ain't checking AirPods and checking phones or whatever like that. So we're also going to be talking about that. So the one album that, like, just from that all these excursions, it was Boogie Down Productions' Criminal Minded, which I've always said is probably the album I played the most out of any genre. I just played that album over and over again. As I brought it on vinyl, tape, CD. You know, I've lost CDs, re-brought it. Like that and Stetsasonics debut album, On Fire. Most people know Steph for their second album, In Full Gear, with Sally and you know, talking all that jazz. But I'm talking with Ghost Stetsa 1. I'm talking with Faye. I'm talking with those joints. So those two albums. So for me, it's just those stories of just willing to risk my mom just strangling me. Like, nigga, did you really just spend $500 in a week on records? You know what I mean? Like, you know, so for me, that's just one of my many stories. Greg Boogie, what about you? You're in Queens, so I know you got some wild stories of what you had to do to go cop stuff.
So I'm gonna take this one back to 1984. All right. Okay. And I want to give a special shout out to my man DJ FY from the Nation of Creation. That's my homie. But his government is Roy Venegas, and he's assistant professor at the University of Hartford right now. So back in the days, he was an incredible DJ. We were 13 years old. So this was 1984. And, you know, we had heard Live at the Funhouse, Here We Go. And we got a tip from one of the record stores. Like, you know, he was a DJ. That's the backstory. Like him and my other man, Gabe, these were my two main mans. And they were both DJs. And I was the muscle / MC, like, you know, get people up and dance, get out and dance, you know, personality, right? So I was with these guys, you know, forever. So anyway, he gets a tip that they're gonna actually have a copy of Live at the Funhouse. Like they were getting it at Rock and Soul, which was in Midtown. All right, so everybody, you know, I'm sure y'all heard of Rock and Soul Records, right? So we go to Rock and Soul, we can't get it. So we go to, I think the name was Beach Street Records in Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
They don't have it. Mind you, I think I'm 13 years old, but we were kind of crazy as kids, right? So there was a little alcohol involved, right? So this adds a little color to the story, right? Actually, it was Calvin Cooler, I think the wine coolers, right? But they were like in quarts. So I allegedly had quite a few, and so as the day is going on, like I haven't even eaten, right? So I'm about to pass out. We go, long story short, we go to about 10 record stores. Nothing. Nobody has it. I'm about to die, right, with my man Roy. Like it's crazy. You know, we're young. We don't have money for food. Like we just have money for records, right? And we have to hop the train. Like it was just an adventure. Then we finally get back around the way, and there were two popular record stores called Numbers. Both of them. It was Numbers in Jackson Heights and a Numbers in Corona, right? But you know, it's close enough that you can get to it. Something tells him. Like a light goes off in his head. He's like, yo, maybe we should check Numbers, right? We go to Numbers. There's like we go to one of them. There's like 1,000 copies of Here We Go live at the Funhouse.
Right.
And we had spent the whole day out. I'm about to like lose a vital organ, you know, from not eating and being drunk. But we get the record. We get the record. We go to his house and we start playing it. Probably 2 seconds into it, I'm throwing up in his bathroom. Like it's a mess.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, G was done, but we got the record.
Yo, B, the 12-inch of Here We Go live at the Funhouse, bro. Like, I mean, yo, and for people who may not know, like, that was the joint that wasn't on no album. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like just buying the album. It was, yo, it's that hunt again. And that's the dopest thing about it. JR, I know you got some stories, good brother. So give me one of your joints.
All right, I'm going to start with my hip hop first. Nas Stillmatic. So, you know, I'm a Brooklyn head. So before then, I was rocking with Hov for real. I was rocking with him. He already came out with the Blueprint. So I'm hyped with this. I'm like, fine. So I'm on the bus. And the night before, I didn't hear Ether. So they play Ether on the bus. And everybody knows I'm from Brooklyn, right? So that's all I'm repping. I'm a Brooklyn head, whatever. Queens ain't got nothing on this, blah, blah, blah. They play that record. I am on the bus quiet as hell. I ain't saying a damn word. I'm like, what the hell did Nas just do? So I walk off the bus with my head down, everybody looking at me like, yo. So I'm like looking. And then so I finally get in my house. I was like, yo, Nas killed that shit, dog. Like, what the hell? Like, yo, like, I can't show that while I'm on the bus. So my mom gets in the house. I'm like, Mom, I got to get this Nas Stillmatic in like 2 months because it came out before Christmas, like a couple of days before Christmas. So she's like, all right, no problem, whatever. So then Got Yourself a Gun came out. So I ended up getting that single, which was easy to get. So then it was time for the album. So the albums came out on a Tuesday. So I was like, Mom, I need to go to the store. I need to go get this. So we went to Best Buy by my house. They didn't have it. We went to Circuit City by my house. They didn't have it. We went to the Barnes and Nobles by my house that sold CDs. Didn't have it. We went to Sound Express, which is in New Brunswick and on George Street. They didn't have it. I literally had my mom drive like an hour away to this store in Perth Amboy and got me this joint because she said, look, nigga, if they ain't got it here, you ain't getting it. Like,
yo, and the funny thing is, I know your mother said, yeah, nigga.
Yes. Nigga, you got me driving around all these stores and they ain't got it. If they ain't got it, we going to the hood and you getting the 3 for $10 on bootleg and then you find it on your own. Because I'm not doing it. So we went to the store, they had it, and I literally played Stillmatic 3 months straight every day. And I miss doing stuff like that. Where I can go to, I couldn't find it, but yeah, I can go to this store, I can go to this store. Now, like you said, you can just go online and be like, all right, they come out at 12 o'clock, there you go. Like, I still enjoy going to the store and buying the CD, looking at the album cover, looking at what, you know what I'm saying, inside, but we ain't got that no more. That one, my mom was a little pissed, but it's another one that my mother she cussed me out. But this one, she let me have it. So
now tell me this: how old are you when Stillmatic came out?
15.
Wow.
15.
That's
15.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So my dad was actually happy because it finally wasn't the R&B album I had them looking for. So he was like, my son got a hip hop album he want. Great. So he was good with it.
All right. Let me see if I can get Mix back in here, and I got my man Kurt up here with us. Mix, you good?
Yeah, I'm good now. Hopefully I'll stay good.
All right, no doubt. Kurt, you good, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Peace.
All right, no doubt. Everybody, this is my guy, Kurt. If y'all think I rock a lot of polo, this nigga makes my collection look like, you know, a bargain basement right here. So that's the Polo OG right there. All right, yo, Neltron, which one of your stories, good brother?
Yeah, it was the Doggy Style album. So I'm in Atlanta visiting my mother, and she takes me to this record store called Turtles. If Vern was on here, he could have vouched for me. But Turtles was like one of the main stores in Atlanta. And we get the tape. She buys the cassette with the parent. That's another thing. These kids don't know about the parent advisory stickers, but that's another topic.
Nah, not at all.
They don't.
Right. So it was a struggle just to ask the parents, like, she's looking at the cover, like, why is there a dog with the butt? And so she buys the cassette, right? We get a call. She's like, oh, I want to hear him. Like, no, we don't have to. We can wait till we get home, huh? Like, no, I want to hear what you're listening to. I popped the tape in the deck. You know, Doggy Style comes on. You getting in the bath. And then, you know, it's like, this American dream. You're supposed to be loving all this. You got 10-inch, 25-inch screen TV. You got the dopest weed on. You got the hottest stuff on the block. This the American dream, nigga. And then it gets to the first song after that. And it's just B, F, P, D, I. It's dick, all the bad words. And she busts a U. It's like, well, I'm like, where we going? She's like, I'm going to bring this shit back. You're not supposed to listen to this at 15. I'm like, Mom, this is the hottest tape out right now. She's like, I don't care. You're not going to be listening. And she was super religious. So all them F-bombs and all that. So we brought the tape back. I get back to New Orleans. I get the bootleg dub from my boy. And then eventually I buy the CD. That's one of my buying stories, man. The struggle.
Wow.
Yo, no doubt, man. And it's rough, like you said, man. You know, that was, you know, it was an era where parents and hip hop was just, you know, it was there. You know what I mean? And the wild part to me that I always had beef with, and it's not just parents, it's the church, it's everything. It's always the music. You know what I mean? It's never the movies. I don't give a fuck. You got Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, watch porns all night long.
Right.
Don't listen to no hip hop. And it's like, nigga, there's more cursing. Like one of my homegirls who you know, we were both heavy into the church and everything like that. She was like, yo, Kill, how do you still listen to hip hop now that you saved and you go to church? I was like, because that's just a part of me. Like, that's never changing. Like, I'm not that boy who I go to church now and I'm selling all my CDs. Like, that ain't part of the game with me. And then one day she was like, yo, Kill, can I borrow your Bad Boys 2 DVD? I said, I do want you to know that there's more cursing in the intro of Bad Boys 2 when they're doing the whole Ku Klux Klan. Just in that first 10 minutes of it's more cursing than Bad Boys than people get on an entire Cameron, Jay-Z, fill in the blank CD. So please tell me, why y'all always beating me in the head every day about Kill? Why you still listen to hip hop when y'all niggas leaving Bible study go see the new Chris Rock movie? Like that. Like, y'all gotta stop putting this on the music. You know what I mean? And I feel like parents was just like, you know, see Dolores Tucker, who I'm not mad at. I'm not all the way mad at, because I was listening to Niggas for Life on the way home one day, and I was like, God damn, did they just kill a hooker, put her in the trunk, and then throw her body in the damn ocean? Like, yeah, that's a little far. Like, I you know, I know, but it's just like, good God. Like, now I kind of, it's to me, it's like the Cosby Show. The reason why I think the Cosby Show is such a great show is because when I was growing up, I saw it through the eyes of Theo. You know what I mean? And now that I'm an adult, I can see it through the eyes of Claire and what was his name on the show? I don't say Bill. Cliff and Claire. You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing. Like, now being a parent, I kind of see things a little bit different. You know what I mean? So, but neither here nor there. I definitely understand, because the parental advisory sticker was a problem for most. Rel, what you got for one of your stories, good brother?
Man, mine was Biggie's Life After Death, the double CD. So my birthday is March 8th. That year on March 9th is when Big died. So someone called me and was like, yo, your man passed. I'm like, my man's? And he was like, Biggie. So I'm like, damn, I'm sad or whatever. So the CD's coming out March 25th. March 24th, I hear on the radio that they're having like a album release thing at midnight. We can come to the record store. They having like, they're gonna be playing it. You come purchase it at midnight. They have, it's like a little party. They have food and all that. And this is on albums came out on Tuesday at the time. This is a school night, and I'm 15. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta go. So
now let me stop you right there, bro. Let me stop you right there. You're 15. You said I gotta go. What are you risking right now? Like, what is this punishment gonna be if you get caught? What is in your head? How are you balancing this out? Like, what's the repercussion for what you're about to do?
Death.
Okay, cool. I got you. I totally understand.
So when you hear what I did, you're gonna understand. And if you ever met my mom, you'll understand. So I'm like, yo, I gotta go, man. So I'm like, I gotta find somebody that'll go with me. So I hit my man Bilal. We all grew up with the kid that could stay out all night. Right. And you know what I mean? I wasn't that kid. I ain't gonna front. So I hit Bilal, and at like 11, I snuck out the back of the house, took the car.
Yo, and you took the car?
Yes. So look.
So you ain't got no license.
No. So I started the car.
Hold tight. Let's bring this back. This is getting worse. This is getting worse by the minute, good brother.
What?
Where was the party at? Because you uptown like me. So where did you have to go to this album release party?
If I'm not mistaken, Showingham.
All right, so that ain't bad.
Right. So,
right. But you said you were 11 years old?
No, he's 15.
Oh, okay. 15. I'm sorry. Okay.
So,
if it was 11, it was about to be really.
Oh, no, 11. That's crazy. 15 is bad enough. You know what I mean? Right. So, mind you, I could drive. Like I was getting taught how I could drive. You know what I'm saying? But I had no license or nothing. So,
right.
What I did was, my mom. I know she was asleep. Like she goes to sleep early. I know. So I said, if I cut the car on and the lights come on, the flat. So I made sure the lights were cut off. Drove around the corner, picked up Bilal, and went to the little get together. Had a ball, got the CD, playing it on the way home. Everything. Dropped him off and pulled up to the house.
Yeah.
And this is one of the scariest moments in my life because, like, if I'd have walked in and she was sitting on them steps, like it would have been bad, like bad. So I, pull in, go around back, hop the little fence, walk in, and I see a person.
Oh,
and I look, it's my little cousin. It's my little cousin. And he was like, yo, your mom woke up for a minute, but she ain't come downstairs. I was like, cool. Got the CD. I waited until I was grown to tell her this story. She tells this story to all the family. And, when my grandmother was alive, because my grandmother always takes my side. She's like, your grandson stole the car to go get a Biggie CD. You know what I'm saying? So
bro, I'll tell you this, but I was on the edge of my seat because I'm waiting to hear. I'm thinking this is like house party when kid came home. You know what I mean? Like I'm waiting.
It would have been like that. It would have been like that because I remember later on when I actually was driving, I had stayed out too late, and when I got home, she was sitting on the steps. You know what I'm saying, waiting for me. So foreshadowing, like I'm like,
right.
I was really scared. You know what I mean? And then when I walked in, I seen somebody in the kitchen. I'm like, oh no, it's over. But it was my little cousin. And he was like, yo, because he was the watch out for me. He was kind of, you know what I'm saying, making sure I was good. And he was like, yo, your mom woke up for a second, but she went back to sleep. I was like, man.
Now, here's the thing. I want folk who are watching this and who are younger to understand that this is what I mean about you're willing to risk life and limb.
Oh yeah, that was death right there, yo. Like,
right. You heard, because in my situation, if that would have been my mom's wasn't very hard on me. So I probably would have been like, punishment for 2 weeks, can't use the car. My man said death was the what was about to be the punishment, and he still went to still get Biggie. It's funny. I got a story about the same album, but it's different. But that's crazy. That's crazy. Kurt, what's going on, good brother? What is one of your stories for record buying?
Gotta unmute me, bro. All right, there we go.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Once again. All right. So my story is, well, I was born in New York, but I grew up in the Virgin Islands. So I grew up in St. Thomas, and I had come back. I had moved to Florida for college. So I went down. I had graduated from. Nah, I'm lying to you now. No, I had went down to St. Thomas during the summer. So I had got a little internship up at the government, working with the government. So they had me literally in an office surfing the internet all summer long. Like I did no work. I did zero work. So on my lunch breaks, I would go to Sam Goody. Y'all remember Sam Goody?
Oh,
No
yes.
doubt.
Okay,
Yes,
so mind you, this is the Virgin Islands now. Like, all we listen to is like reggae, calypso crap. You know, no one's caring about hip hop or whatever. I was the only like hip hop head. So I went to Sam Goody, and that's when you had the CD players. You know,
that you could listen to.
There you go.
Yep.
So I used to have a big messenger bag, and I'm you know, I have my Discman playing in my bag, or you know, running through my bag or whatever. And I walked in to the store. Mind you, we have the security, you know, the 2 security things that you have to walk through. So as I walk through, it beeps. Okay, everybody looks at me, but they know I walked in. I couldn't steal crap. So then I'm like, all right, if I walked in and it's beeping, that means when I leave, it's going to beep. So I'm like, all right.
I see where this is going.
So I'm looking around, I'm looking for stuff. I start picking up all kind of reggae CDs, and I stick it in my bag. And as I'm walking around, this CD hits my eye.
Oh, wow. Dope
Madlib, Shades of Blue.
Dope album.
Yo, I was a Madlib fan because I once I heard Quasimodo, I heard yesterday's new quintet, the first one.
Yes.
I was dedicated. Anything Madlib put out, I had to have. Now, mind you, I was kind of broke, so I see this CD. I say, yo, I need that joint. So mind you, my bag's full of a whole bunch of reggae CDs and this and the third because I was trying to make beats at the time. So I'm picking up everything. And I see this joint. Now, mind you, for some reason, in the Virgin Islands, this joint is in a plastic case, that old school plastic case with everything else is free, whatever. It has a little sensor on it, whatever. But this is in a plastic case. And I'm like, why would this be in a plastic case? Who the hell in St. Thomas wants to steal this? I said, yo, I got to do it. I gotta do it. Cause I can't leave the store without it.
Right.
Man, I looked around, stuck it in the bag. I'm thinking, shit, I'm about to get caught. They're about to get me because my bag. If they even look in my bag, they're gonna see a whole bunch of things. And plus, my name is kind of like gold down there because they know my parents. I said, fuck it, I gotta do it. So I stood by the door, by the little sensor joint, and it started beeping. They looked at me. I go, yo, remember it beep coming in. They go, oh yeah, don't worry about it, just go ahead. I said, word. I was through the door. I get back to work now. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna ask you, like I asked Rel. What is the punishment? What's going to happen in the Virgin Islands? Like, I know what's going to happen to me if I get caught in Shellingham Mall.
My mom going to kill me.
Okay, so we talking death again.
Yo.
Okay.
My mom's old school Caribbean. So she's going to whoop my ass. I ain't going to lie. She's
Right.
going to whoop my ass. Even though I'm in college, she's going to whoop my ass. So, but to kind of go on with the story a little bit, so I get back to work, and mind you, this sucker's in the plastic case. So I'm thinking, it's in my bag. I'm like, yo, I need to hear this joint. I need to hear it. So I told my manager, mind you, I wasn't doing crap. I go, yo, I got to step outside for a second. He goes, all right, go ahead, do your thing. Yeah. So I go outside. I found the biggest rock I could find. And I'm out there in the hot sun now, trying to break this joint open. So I can listen to it at work. So I finally got it open. I listened to it. I fell in love and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's history. But I remember every lunch break after that, I was in Sam Goody stealing something. Because if people coming in, so there's a running joke. There's a running joke through the Virgin Islands that I bankrupt Sam Goody because, like, after that summer, Sam Goody went out of business in the Virgin Islands. So the running joke is I bankrupted because I kept stealing all their CDs. And the thing is, I still got all those CDs. I still got all those CDs in my collection. I look at them and I just say, you know what? Yeah, I probably did bankrupt them. I probably did.
That's crazy. That's crazy, B. Yo, you sticking with us? I know you said you only had time for one, but you hanging?
Yeah, I can hang a little bit.
All right, no doubt. Let me try to get Mix back in. Mix.
Yeah, what's going on?
All right, bro, you good?
Yeah, I hope I'm good. I don't know what's going on.
All right, why don't we start your story, bro, before you fall off again?
Okay, my story is a little different because I was on a mission to get music for someone else. At the time, this was like the same week, I believe, that Dr. Dre's Chronic came out. And this was when I was back home in New Orleans, where I'm originally from. I was visiting the hotel where my homie, Lamar Thomas for the University of Miami Hurricanes was in town for the big national championship game against Alabama. And they had a strict curfew. And even though this was daytime, he wasn't allowed to leave the lobby because the coach had a meeting set up for, everybody. So I was chilling in the lobby with most of the main players from the U, just shooting a breeze. And he gave me some money to go buy the Chronic for him. So I walked up the block on Canal Street, which everybody, know to be the main strip in New Orleans. And I went to Odyssey Records to get it. And I didn't have any problem purchasing it. But when I came back, I had trouble getting back in the hotel. And then so I had to make my way through the back and then come all the way to the front of where the hotel to get to the lobby. But by then the coaching staff had infiltrated where we were chilling. And so I signaled to Lamar Thomas, yo, I got it. And then so the coach saw me, signal to Lamar, I got it. He's like, you got what? I say, I got it. I just got it for Lamar. Lamar said, you got that Chronic? I said, yeah, I got that Chronic for you. So the coach was like, what you doing getting Chronic? I said, no, Chronic the tape. So I pulled it out and showed him. And he was like, oh, you had me scared for a second. I was about to suspend him.
Wow.
That's crazy, B. That's crazy. Wow. The next story I got is 88. It's me and my man Laura Cross. We in 8th grade. This was my running buddy. I mean, we would just go throughout the whole city of Philly. I was always the get out, no other people. I didn't just stay in my hood. So we went all the way down to Funko Mart in Philly, which is down on Market Street. And we got there and we saw EPMD Strictly Business and Jungle Brothers Straight Out the Jungle. The problem is we in 8th grade, we ain't got no money. It's so we only had enough money to buy one. Mm-hmm. So I said, look, bro, you buy EPMD, I'm gonna buy Jungle Brothers. We gonna listen to it for a week. And then a week later, we just gonna switch off and just bang it out like that. He's like, all right, good money. Yo, a week came and I was mad apprehensive. I was kind of ducking them because I was like, yo, I'm not giving this shit up. I'm not getting this. Jungle Brothers is my shit. I'm not trading you. There's no way. I don't give a fuck what EPMD got. It can't be better than this. And then when we finally saw each other, he was like, yo, nigga, I can't give you this EPMD. And I'm like, well, nigga, I can't give you the Jungle Brothers, man, because we both was like, yo, we can't. And we felt bad. We're 8th grade. It was like, this is my man. It's like on some old that show niggas used to watch back in the day with Buckwheat, the Little Rascals. It was like you know, we were both raised like your word is your bond. So we both said we was gonna trade. It was like those old commercials, like, nah, my brother, you gotta get your own. Like, yo, you can't rock with this. So to me, like, that's something that we still laugh about to this day. Just, you know, wanting to trade off and it just being like, yo, both these albums are so dope. And both of those albums are probably top 20 of my favorite hip hop albums. Just for a reason, just like that. Porsche, what you got for us?
So my next one, again, trauma from ODB's joint being banned in Winnipeg, freaking Manitoba. At this point, I've moved to BC, thank God. But Vancouver is vastly bigger than Winnipeg ever is. So at that point, I live in like a little suburb, so there wasn't really a mall where I could just go to, you know, music places. The closest one is actually super far, and it's very, very big. It's a little overwhelming, and I'm not driving at the time. So I don't really go often to go get, you know, music. So it just so happens that my cousins who live in Vancouver, and this is the first year I've moved here, they convinced my mom to let me go with them to Phoenix, Arizona, which is like a yearly trip that they do. And my mom's like terrified because she's like, oh my God, we've now moved to this big city and now they want to like take my kids. And like Persian parents are rather, you know, protective. To say the least. Anyways, she lets me go. We're going to this conference and we have to go and attend these seminars and like these lectures and all of these kinds of things. Mind you, this is like 98, okay? And at one point it dawns on me that like I am in the United States. Like there is, in my mind, I'm like, I am like, this is like Disneyland for hip hop. Like this is my hip hop Disneyland, right? So I'm like, but I'm stuck in this freaking conference in these like literally like back-to-back seminars. You have like 15 minutes for a break and then you're back into this lecture. I fake an entire like flu. I'm sick. I'm vomiting. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like in a cold sweat. I don't feel well. And I put on this production and my cousins are like, oh my God, she's sick in the United States. Like there's no insurance. What are we doing? And I'm like, no, I'll be fine. Just let me go to my room, right? Because we're staying in the hotel. And they're like, okay, we're going to come with you to make sure you're okay. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. I send them back. I like jet out and I go to the mall, which is like just down. We were staying at the Hyatt in Phoenix and I just go down. I think there was like walking distance. There was like a little strip mall or something. I go and I cop Wu-Tang Forever, The Firm. It Was Written. I get all of them. And I have like, I'm smiling. My cheeks are all red from being outside in this heat. And I come back and I'm like, and they're like, how are you feeling? I'm like, oh, right. Oh, yeah. Like, no, I'm good. Like, I lay down. I'm good. My suitcase is filled with, like, albums. They're like, where did you go? I was like, don't worry about it. So, yeah, like, that was my other favorite memory.
So, truth be told, for you living in Canada, everything was an adventure.
Well, yes. I think I maybe made it an adventure as well, only because, like, it's very different. It was at the time difficult. Like our bus systems and train systems are not as efficient as, let's say, like New York. You know what I mean? Right. Like they take long, it's slow. So you don't really go very often. And the one mall that had everything was far and it was busy and it was like, yeah. So it was just an adventure all the time.
All right, no doubt. That's dope. Greg Boogie, what's another joint you got, bro?
All right, so I'm gonna keep it back in the 80s. Okay.
All right.
So now it's me, my man Roy, DJ FY, and my man DJ Gabe. So we're supposed to do a big, like, some important party that night, and I Know You Got Soul was the record, the single that was supposed to drop, right? And so again, it's the Rock and Soul, Downtown Records. You hear, okay, it's gonna be there. Everybody in the city got the tip. So since we've had experiences like the one that me and my man Roy had with the Live at the Funhouse, we said, all right, we're gonna split up. Okay. So we split up, everybody went to different parts of the city. I got the record. I got doubles. We meet back in Queens. I pass it off to Gabe. And I'm like, look, I'm gonna meet y'all at the jam because I'm gonna go with this girl like this. Yo, she was one of the most beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
I already saw the look on your face.
All right.
Right.
So she lives in Latimer Projects in Flushing. So I go, okay, so now this is the best part, right? So I go pick her up. I get there, maybe 5 minutes, I'm waiting for her to get ready. Knock on the door, but it's really more like someone's trying to break the door down. Sure. Turns out her ex-boyfriend and dudes from the projects are like, yo, who is this dude in the crib with you? Right? Trying to break the door down. Long story short, I have to miss the party because I cannot leave until the next morning, 6, 7 in the morning.
So you got kidnapped.
Yes, basically got kidnapped. And then the thing was, you know, I had very limited form of protection at that point. Right. You know, I'm not going to get into too much detail.
Right.
But you know, it was nothing compared to what would have met me even if I made it to the hallway. It was that bad. I couldn't even get to the hallway. So, and this was after all of us had split up, and the party was an important party because it was supposed to be like launching us into, you know, just getting paid more on the DJ circuit. They missed me because I'm the life of the party. And then I stopped fights. There was a big brawl. So everything got tore up, and I couldn't leave the spot until 6, 7 in the morning. But what Gabe did for me, he taped part of the party. He had, you know, because he had the cassette deck that he could tape while he was doing live. And I got to hear I Know You Got Soul through there.
All right. Dope. So you almost got killed for this record, basically, in a nutshell.
Yeah. But it was worth it. It was.
I feel you. But the thing is, again, folk listening, this is like, I don't know if folk watch the Get Down, but it's kind of like when Books. My man was fighting. What was his name? Shalim was going back and forth over getting that record that he needed. You know what I mean?
That Brenda Holiday. Yeah.
You know, so it's like one of those things where, again, you know, these stories sound crazy because we're living in this digital world, but you know, this is the shit that's scary as hell. Rel, this dude is about to get killed by his mother for a Biggie party. You know, Greg about to get shot for the 12-inch. Like, these are the stories. Porsche up here faking like she got the flu. You know what I mean? Just to go hit up the mall. You know what I mean? Like, this is the stuff that we were doing for hip hop. You know what I mean? And this just adds another layer to however much y'all feel like you love hip hop, we love it just that much more because we have these adventures. You know, it's there. JR, you know, this dude's mom was about to, you know, make him go buy the bootleg, the 3 for $5 in a minute. You know what I mean? For the Stillmatic. So JR, give me another joint, good brother.
Okay, so this kind of coincides with Nas and Stillmatic. So by March, I've been playing Stillmatic every day. This is now in 2002. So now I'm in my R&B bag. So I'm a Brandy fan. So I knew she was coming out with Full Moon. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get it. Don't even matter. I'm a fan of Never Say Never, so I'm gonna buy it. So the day it comes out, I'm like, yo, Mom, I need to go cop this. My mom and my dad. So they like, all right, cool. We'll drive you to the different stores to go get it. So we went to 2 stores that was by my house. They didn't have it. This is the first day. So things are selling out like crazy. So we go to maybe a store that's maybe about 25 minutes away. So I was like, yo, nobody has it. So my mom was like, well, call around a couple of more spots that's around. So I called this spot that was like an hour and 15 minutes away.
Yo, your mom's was going to drive you an hour.
Oh, she did, but wait. So we go, and I was like, Ma, it's an hour and 15 minutes away. It was like 5:30. So she was like, all right, let's go. Let's go get it. Fine, you get it. Cool. So we get it. I get it. I'm hyped. I get the last copy from this store. So we on the ride back and we're listening to it. And I'm like, I'm rocking to it. My mom is like, what is this shit?
Wow.
This shit is garbage. So you made me and your father ride you an hour and a half to listen to this bullshit?
Wow.
Damn, bro.
So my mom took the record out that I paid with my own money.
No, she did. No,
Yes, she
took the
did.
CD
out. No, she did.
Yes.
No.
She broke it, dog.
No, she didn't.
Broke my shit, dog. Broke it. And was like, now, for all this shit, you had me drive an hour and 15 minutes away to hear this garbage? She broke my shit and said, now you got to go find the record your damn self.
Wow. Wow. I know you was heated.
Oh, I was tight, because y'all remember back then, albums was $18.99 then.
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
Now again, JR, you got to remember, what age are you now?
I'm 16.
You 16. All right. So you went home and you was in your room cursing her the fuck out. You was giving it to your mother.
So,
you was giving it to mom.
Yeah. So mind you, I was like, I'm getting this shit. I don't get what my mother say. So I failed this exam or whatever. So my mom was like, you on punishment. She was happy to put my ass on punishment because the album was trash and then this. So she was like, you on punishment, you done for the week, you ain't going nowhere. I was like, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I'm getting this full moon. I don't give a damn. She's talking about, I'm getting this shit. So one of my pops went out or whatever, and she was like, yo, you in. So Circuit City right across the street. I'm like, all right, it's like 8:30. If I run over there, go get it, come back, I'm good. So I wait for like a good 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, they gone.
You always gotta give them that 10 minutes because that's that 10
yeah,
minutes.
like I'm like, all right, they gone. I'm like, and mind y'all, I live on the 3rd floor. So this is where, so I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all right, I get out, go to Circuit City, buy the joint. The line was kind of long, but I'm like, man, mom and them went out. They won't be back. I walked back to my house.
No.
I walked up the stairs. My mother is sitting right on the stairs waiting for me. So she was like, where the hell did you go? I was like, I went to Circuit City. I can't lie. I'm already busted.
Nigga.
I'm like, what am I going to do? She was like, so
stop right there. Stop right there. You can always lie, my nigga. There's always a lie. I don't give a hell. I could have had the Circuit City. I could have had the Circuit City bag with me. I would have been like, Mom, I was going downstairs because I heard something, and then some fucking crackhead just bumped me.
You right. When you in it, you not thinking about that. When you in it, I'm in it, so I'm like, I can't think of nothing so fast because she ain't even supposed to be home. So I'm thinking I'm good. So I get up.
No.
So she was like, so you went to Circuit City? I said, yeah. She was like, she knew I went to go buy music. So she was like, what did you buy? I was like, I brought Brandy's Full Moon. She said, what? You want that shit? She was like, okay. She was like, all right. She was like, give me the album. I was like, all right, here, take it. Whatever.
Yo, don't tell me she broke that shit again.
No. She didn't. She didn't. She put it in her room. And she was like, now find another creative way to go get it again.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up getting that shit bootleg.
Wow.
And when I got it bootleg, after maybe about 2 months later, she gave me back the original version. And now I listen to the shit and it ain't even my favorite Brandy shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I did all this shit for this shit?
She ruined it.
I was just about to ask you, like, was all of that worth it?
Hell no, it wasn't worth it. I'm pissed. It wasn't worth it. Like, now that I sat with it and I lived with it, and it was just like, damn, man, I got in trouble for this shit. Damn, I paid $40 a week off that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Damn. Neltron, what you got, good brother? Prayerfully, you ain't died nothing.
No. This is an actual cool one, man. I'm gonna lighten it up for y'all. So I mean, this is a bad
between Rel and JR. Somebody gonna get shot.
Right.
Greg Boogie
getting kidnapped. You know what I mean? Mike about to bust the college player with the chronic.
Right. You know, he about to get somebody kicked off the team.
Right. Mick selling weed.
Right.
So this is after Katrina. This is like my third time going to New York. And I'm like, all right, I got that FEMA money. I'm about to wild out.
The FEMA money.
I did, bro. They was like, yo, you all right? I'm like, dude, I got FEMA money, bro. I got y'all. I'm gonna buy the bar, I'm buying records. I'm just gonna wild out. So I get the Fat Beats, right? And I'm like, yo, this is what they've been telling me about. Fat Beats, Fat Beats. So I go up there. I think it's stairs. It leads up to the stairs.
Right.
And it's real small. It's like maybe the size of a garage or something, a little bigger than a garage. So I get there, and the first thing I find was like your boy from the islands. I find this Madlib CD called Mind Fusion, and it's real hard to find, especially nowadays. It's like an instrumental, and then there's a Mind Fusion jazz and a Mind Fusion hip hop, and then I found the Shaolin Sounds on vinyl. So Shaolin Sounds, I don't know if you have that. But it's all the Wu-Tang original songs on 5 different albums. Like there's a black cover, a yellow cover, red color, and a green color. So, and I bought the Mad Villainy out there as well, and the Danger Doom. So after I left Fat Beats, I get on the A train to go back to Brooklyn because I was staying around Church Ave at the time. And then, that was my experience, man. It was like I'm riding a train in New York. I'm walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm going to Fat Beats. It was just like I'm going to Canarsie to eat pizza, garlic balls. Like I had the real New York experience, man.
You in hip hop heaven, right?
Oh man, it was amazing. The train is shifting. I'm listening to Doom while the train is shifting. I'm looking at dudes bump old ladies out the way. Like I'm like, damn, New York is wow. So yeah, bro, that was a dope experience, man.
That's dope. That's dope. Rel, give me something without you getting killed this time, man.
Yeah. So this one got like kind of a recurring theme now I'm thinking about it. But this one it wasn't what I went through to get it, but just the events that day. So this was Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth, right? So on a former show, I remember I told you how me and my best friend was like too influenced by Mobb Deep, like
so where I was like
I was like, we might gotta, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in my old head's car. He let me drive. I ain't got no license again. It's not a listen. So in Philly, there was a thing where we were like a lot of people was in what we call Johnny's, which is stolen cars, but this wasn't stolen. This was my old head car, but he let me hold it. We go, me and my best friend, I get the Mobb Deep Hell on Earth CD. So there was this girl in my class that I had like a crush on. And she was cool with me, but I don't think she looked at me like that. She was one of those girls, like the baddest girl in the school. She ain't messing with no dudes in high school. All the dudes she messed with is grown. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
So I'm driving. We playing Hell on Earth. We zoned out. We zoning out. And I'm driving and I see her. And so she see me. So she see me whipping. So she like, Rel, what's up? So I can cut the mob down. I'm like, oh man, this is it. I cut the mob down. She comes to so we talking. My man Jason's gonna say, man, stop talking to that bitch and cut the mob back on. I'm like,
oh my God. Wow. Wow.
I'm like, dog, what are you doing? Like, he like, man, stop. I'm like, come on. Come on, bro. Like, and so I had to wrap it up and kept it pushing. Man, I'm like, man.
Oh my God,
bro.
Why would you do that, bro?
You know why, bro? You know why, bro?
Straight hate.
Because that's some nigga shit. That's some nigga shit.
That's
exactly
all the
what
way.
that is. There's no other way to explain that than that's some nigga shit. Okay? Right. Here's the crazy thing. This has nothing to do with a chick. I'm downtown outside the gallery. I got my man Classic with me. We just got the new issue of The Source. I say, Classic, stay in the car If a cop come and give you a ticket, just move the car. You know what I mean? Here are the keys. Right? I go buy my Jordans, I come back. This motherfucker and still in the front seat reading the source a fucking parking ticket on the windshield.
Wow.
My nigga, you never looked up from the source to see somebody sit here and write a ticket on the car? YRL, nigga shit. This is a prime example of nigga shit.
But here's the bad part. My friend, he not even like that. He's like a really mild mannered. This Mob Deep shit
got
took
in
over.
Head.
Got him,
yeah. I said, yeah. And he like,
that nigga was hypnotized.
This nigga turned into Prodigy on the Infamous intro.
Oh wow!
I'm like, yo, what the? And she was so caught off guard. She was back, but the conversation was basically done after that. She was just like, well, what's up with your man? I'm like, yo, I taught you in school, man. Like, this dude said, stop talking to that bitch and cut the mob back up. What type of shit is that?
Wow.
Yo, here's the funny part. Here's the funny part that he put the mob. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yo, put the woo back in. That's what you would just say. Put mob back on. This nigga said, put the mob back on.
That's where you know where he was at in his head. He was gone.
He was gone.
That nigga was speaking the done language, man. That nigga was on a whole nother level. On a whole nother level. All right, let's try this one more again. Mix.
Yes.
You good?
No, it's still scrambling up. I'm gonna try to get it out. Let's see. Am I okay?
You good for now. Tell a story, good brother, while we got you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell a story, bro.
Okay, this was basically my pursuit of a super rare, hard to find hip hop sample. For years, I always knew what it sounded like and would describe it in every store I would go to, but never knew what it was. But a few years ago, I happened to be record hunting on my birthday using a gift card that my brother gave me for a place out here called Louisiana Music Factory, which specializes in a lot of local New Orleans music and some rarities. Not so much hip hop, but mostly like soul, jazz, and other genres. So I'm in there being real thorough, digging through all the vinyl, digging through all the used CDs, going through the new section, trying to burn up this gift card. And I was about to leave and I was getting frustrated. So eventually I said, let me try it one more time. And I'm gonna go to an area that I didn't really visit. So I went to the soul section, just a regular soul section, like the newer material with a few oldies, tucked in there. And something told me pick up the Fatback Band Hustle 69 to 84 CD. And so my gut feeling told me this had to be the record, because I remember somebody saying it might be them that did the sample. And the sample's kind of like that, ooh, ah. So eventually, when I got home, I just took a big chance. And once I played it, I lost my mind. It was the original sample for Pure Righteousness by Lakim Shabazz. And it was also Money in the Bank by Kool G Rap. And he actually sampled it twice in the G-Rap song, two different ways.
But was it the joint you wanted?
It took me like forever to find that.
But was it the joint you wanted? The original sample you was looking for?
Yes, it was the original joint I wanted. Yeah.
All right. Dope.
It took forever, but I've been pursuing it since I first heard it on Pure Righteousness. I could never find out what it was. And I just found it, this was like probably 4 years ago.
All right. That's what's up. The next joint I got is actually a horrible experience. It's the year is 1997. Now, from 93 to like 97, I worked at the radio station. So I'm getting shit for free. I ain't paid for an album or CD in years. I moved to Atlanta with my girl at the time. And I feel like, I don't know if y'all remember that second Superman movie when Clark Kent was like, yo, he reneged on his powers because he just wanted to be human so he could fuck with Lois Lane like that. And like he went to a bar and he got beat up. You know what I mean? That's how I felt being in Atlanta, because it was like I felt human again. I had to buy music. I hadn't brought music in 5 years. So it was like, yo, I'm really spending money. So I buy 2 CDs that I'm hyped as hell for. These are the 2 sophomore albums to me, of two of the dopest MCs at that time. I'm talking Mike Geronimo's Vendetta, and I'm talking Jay-Z's In My Lifetime Volume 1.
Ooh,
You're coming off a reasonable. You're coming off a reasonable doubt. So I'm like, my expectations are through the roof. You're coming off the natural. I mean, I'm on the train, like on another planet, like just so hyped to listen to these albums. So I'm listening to Mike Geronimo, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what, yo, like, I want my money back. Like, yo, this is the first time I've spent money on music in 5 years. And I'm like, yo, this is trash. You know what I mean? And then I'm listening to Jay, and it starts off so wonderful with you know, 1,000,001 Questions and Rhyme No More. I'm like, ooh, Primo and Jay back together. Then this shit go to the city's mom with Blackstreet. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? then we going in the I Know What Girls Like. And I'm like, what the. But then we come back with Imaginary Players. And I'm like, okay, we back. Then we go in the Streets Is Watching. I'm like, yo, we back. Yo, we good. Then we go into Friend of Foes. And I'm like, yo, this is great. Then we get to Always Be My Sunshine. This album drove me. This album is half whack, half incredible. You know what I mean? I mean, it just took me through a variety of emotions. And I do want to do a show eventually about that year, 1997, because there were so many sophomore albums. Smith and Wesson's, The Shining joint. It wasn't, you know, I mean, not The Shining, I apologize. Rude Awakening. You know what I mean? Their sophomore album coming off of The Shining, and it was just like, yo, here we go again. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it was so much frustration of trying to just, I mean, my expectations were through the roof, and it was just like, it got shitted on by these two albums that I really thought, it's like going to see a movie that you swear is going to be the greatest thing you're ever going to see, and then it's just trash. So, or, you know, so that was my thing with that. Porsche, give me another story. What you got, bro?
Those two albums frustrated a lot of people. The way they frustrated you, and I saw that Mike Geronimo thing happening when I saw the single with Puff. I was like, oh, I don't like this. He ain't had to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I still bought the CD though, just off of the natural. But yeah, I was disappointed. And Volume 1, the same thing. It's like so much garbage on there, and then there's so much incredible stuff. It's like it brings a CD down. That's one of his lower CDs to me, even though it got a couple of his best songs, like, you know what I'm saying? Right. But yeah.
And then for me, it was like, and Jay went back and spoke on it, like this was him trying to master the Biggie recipe of being able to make radio songs and make street songs. And like, I mean, he even said like he didn't get it until the joint with Jermaine Dupri, Money Ain't a Thing. He was like, he felt like that was his first time. So, you know, trying to get with Blackstreet, trying to get with Babyface and all of that, but it just wasn't working. Porsche, give me another story, miss.
So this one, this is actually one of my favorite stories, and it's the most low drama story ever. But I had just moved. So this is like prior to the Phoenix. Well, actually, yeah, something in and around the Phoenix story. But anyway, so we've moved to BC. My cousins live here, and they're the only people I knew at the time because we hadn't started school yet. And so I go over to my cousin's house, and she's a little bit older than I am. And I didn't know, but she really liked hip hop at the time. And she was like getting rid of a bunch of her stuff in her room. And she was like doing this big, I guess I was there for like the spring cleaning. She had like 3, you know, remember when you used to put CDs with the liner notes in the CD binders? And then they were like, and you could get like the really big ones that looked like a briefcase almost. Because they were just like probably like 2 inches thick, and they had like the 4 per page, or I guess 8 per page, front and back. She had like 3 of those. And I'm like, and she's got them in the pile of like the garbage pile. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And she was like, oh, I don't know. You can look through it. I'm looking through it. Yo, this was like a treasure chest of hip hop. I'm looking at like the.
So why was she throwing it? Why was she throwing it away?
I'm getting there. So it's like,
okay, my bad.
Outkast. She's got Illadelph in there. She's got Red Man's Joints, Grave Diggers. She's got Wu-Tang Forever. Albums I also had, but she had like way more. And I was like, this is what it feels like to be around like a city that has music, right? And I was like, yo, are you seriously gonna get rid of these? And she's like, yeah, I've grown out of it. And I was like, grown out of it? What the, like, I can't even compute in my brain. This was the first time I had heard someone tell me you will grow out of hip hop. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was like, I'll take them. I was like, I will buy them off of you. Like, how much do you want? And she was like, just take them. I got like, I don't even know how many CDs there were, but I would literally reorganize those things just so I could like touch the CDs more and like be more involved in it weekly. And I would create like an index page and I would like organize them out. I did them alphabetically, then I did them by like cover art, then I did them by, oh my God, it was like nuts. But yeah, she gave me what I have as my collection. Even though I've duplicated some of the albums, but I told her, I was like, how could you be throwing these out? And she goes, I've grown out of hip hop. You will too, but keep them for now. And I was like, I'm never going to grow out of hip hop. And if you ever realize you want, I swear to God, I told her this. I said, if you ever want these back, I will have them for you. And I
apologize. This is your cousin, right?
This is my cousin.
That's a beautiful thing to say. God bless you. Because once you get it, God bless you. God bless you.
There were so many CDs. This was like, you guys, 8 CDs per page, 3 binders. And that's like a 24-page joint. Like, that's a lot of CDs, you guys. That's a lot of money. I was like, yo, if you want these back, I got them for you. Like, I'm going to take care of these. And I still, to this day, have them. They just don't have the CD cases, just the liner notes and the actual disc. But, like, yeah. And it was the first time someone had ever told me, you're going to grow out of hip hop. And I didn't ever know what that meant. And to this day, I like kind of my claws come out when people say, people grow out of hip hop. Like that gets me in my soul. Like I just cannot with that whole concept. So yeah.
No doubt. That's dope. Greg, what you got, brother?
All right. So I'm going to take it to 1990 spring break. Me and my peoples would go to Virginia Beach. And we would stay with my man's cousin James. So a little background: when NWA dropped, right, some of my friends saw my interest in the group and saw that I really liked them, and then they also noticed that I might look similar to one of them dudes, right, in the group. So I became Ice Cube, right? That was the, you know what I'm saying? That was one of my nicknames, right? In the hood, like a little joke, right? So spring break 1990, America's Most is gonna come out, right? So we're in VA. My man James, who we were staying with, gets a call that somebody has an advanced copy that I could go purchase, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going crazy. Now, mind you, again, there was a lot of recreational activity going on, we were in Virginia. So we were all lit. It was me and me and 4 of my people and one of their girlfriend, right? We go get the album, but it was a 2.5-hour drive.
Right.
We get lost. We ran out of gas at some point.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. We're in Virginia, but here's the thing: James ain't with us. He's at work. He just let us take his whip all day, and we're supposed to go pick him up. So we show up late, like probably like an hour and a half late, because we have to push the car, get gas, all this nonsense, right? And get directions on how to get back, because this is 1990, no GPS, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I had the America's Most Wanted album. And it was about, seriously, it was probably like 2 or 3 weeks before anybody else. When I got back to New York a week later, it took 2 weeks before it came out up here.
Wow.
Right.
So And it was a hood spot too. Like it was crazy because then we ended up buying Bud when we were over there, like at the record store. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I got the record, and then I got the Ice Cube jokes to like the next level.
Right. Because you the only one with America's Most, right?
I was the only one. And dude said that I had transformed into Ice Cube for like a year or two. So it just made it even more funny. I just didn't have the Jerry curl. That was the only difference. But yeah. So that's my little Ice Cube.
The VA Troop Out 2 story just to get America's Most, bro. I feel you, man. I feel you. Tell me this. And did that make, when you listen to America's Most now, does what you have to do to get it like make your love for it that much more?
Oh my God, yeah. And but remember what the first song was, right?
Right. Nigga you love to hate.
Once that played, everybody in the car turned around and looked at me. And they were like, this is that nigga we love to hate, right? Like it was just so it has another connotation to it for me.
Right,
like,
right.
It's something that we all remember like about that trip. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. JR, give me something, good brother.
This is when College Dropout came out.
Okay.
This was my senior year in high school. So these albums came out on Tuesday. So I was like, all right, I need to go get this. I need to go get this album before I get to class. So y'all know the record stores don't open till like 10.
Right.
So I was like, so my mom was like, all right, so I was still taking the bus. I don't know why, and I had a car. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take the bus today, blah, blah, blah. She was like, all right, well, I'll see you later. I was like, all right, cool. So she was like, you going to class, right? I think my mother had already knew that I was about to do some crazy shit. So she was like, you going to class? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to class. She was like, all right, cool. So I was like, nah, I ain't going there till I get that motherfucking College Dropout so I can have that shit in my portable CD player so I could walk around class with it. So I was like, all right. And there's a Sam Goody that's literally by my high school. So I was like, all right, cool. So it's about 9:30. I'm like, all right, I'm about to leave the crib, whatever. I catch the bus, it was the 818. So I catch that, right? Mind you, my mom works close to the Sam Goody though. Yeah.
You keep playing with fire, Gio.
Exactly.
Right. I already done got busted with Full Moon. You think I would have thought, right?
Right.
Because before then, it was like a couple of mixtapes that came out. So I had already heard Spaceship already. I done heard Family Business already. So I was like, I want this shit. This shit is fire. Like, I want it. So I was like, all right. Now, mind you, I was on the phone with my peoples the night before telling them, y'all, I'm getting this shit, not knowing that my mother was on the other line. I'm like, all right. So she was like, yeah, you go ahead, whatever. So I was telling them, y'all, yeah, I'm gonna come to school with this number, blah, blah. This shit is crazy. So I walk up in the Sam Goody, right? I'm thinking I'm clean, I'm good, buy it, walk out. Guess who's walking up the alleyway? My mother. He was like, what?
She ain't smacked you by now?
Oh no. So she was like, you told me that you was gonna go to class, right? You was gonna go on time and all this. I was like, yo, so I'm getting mad because I'm like getting mad at her. Like, how the hell you know what I'm doing? Like, how did you even know? She was like, you were on my phone in my house trying to be sneaky and saying what you gonna do. I'm all in my room because I keep my door closed. So I'm not thinking she on the other line. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, yeah, y'all, I'm a blah, blah, blah. So I got there. And mind you, there's people in the mall. I don't even know these people. My mom slapped the shit out of me in that mall, y'all, and said, take your ass to school. I'm 17. She was like, take your ass to school. And I came back home, and this is where everything gets funny. She was like, yo, I don't knock you for this, because this album is the shit.
Wow.
I don't knock. She was like, I don't knock you, even though I'm mad that you did it, and she embarrassed me in front of these people I don't even freaking know. But I get home and she like, yo, this album is dope, and she loves School Spirit because she's an AKA. So she liked that sample that he did with Aretha. So mom had heard all the samples. She was like, this is a dope album. She was like, that's why I took off today, because I already knew you was on some funny shit. And I got busted. But at the end of the day, she was like, the album was hot, and we both rocked with it. So that was the best thing about it, even though I got slapped. But at the end of the day, she liked the record, though. So that was dope.
It's so ironic, because I was like, when is this slap coming? Because between the Brandy and I'm sure some other stories in between.
Oh, no, I played it cool. Like everything else, I was just like, all right, I'm good. Like when 50 and Jay came out the same day, when they came, G-Unit and Black Album came out the same day. Like that came out on a Friday. So I was like, I ain't no big deal. So I was like, I ain't doing that shit no more. But College Dropout was the shit. So I was like, yo, I gotta get this. I want to go to class with that shit and just showing off. Like, y'all, I got that shit. Y'all motherfuckers gotta wait till after school.
Right.
I had to wait till after school till I got home. So
the funny thing is that's I was the type of kid and the type of liar who would have been like, Mom, you know what the fuck is wrong with this situation? Nigga, you got peoples out here whose children hooked on drugs. Out here selling drugs. All I want to do is go buy a goddamn CD. Do you know how blessed you are right now?
I ain't getting no like that, bro.
All you that's like me and my mom's relationship. I would have been like, you know how blessed you are right now that all you got to worry about is me buying some music? Like that's it. And you.
But I probably wouldn't have got the slap because I got angry because I'm like, how the hell you know I was here? Like, that's what it was. If I would have played it cool, like, damn, I got busted. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I'm getting mad, like, why are you here? Like,
you tried to rise up. I feel you. I feel you. Now try and give me something, brother.
1991. I was living in Atlanta, moved back to New Orleans. 1991, back with my pops. And Two Live Crew, I'm in the Two Live Crew because you know the Hormones. You know, I'm in the South. They playing
I understand.
Pop That Coochie and all this. I'm seeing the video. I'm seeing the cover. I'm like, oh my God, look at these girls. So I get to. They had a flea market on the West Bank called Rock Bottom Flea Market. They sold bootlegs. So I get the CD. You know, I do tours around the house when my dad's giving me allowance. You know, $20 a week, $20 every other week. And he don't know what I'm buying. So I got the tapes on my dresser lined up. Two Live Crew, Bust Down, another Two Live Crew, a Luke album. And he comes in my room. He's like, son, this is what you buying with your allowance? It's like, I'm not paying for this shit no more. You're not getting no more allowance. The allowance is cut off. I'm like, I bet. So him cutting my allowance off made me go. My grandfather was like, I'm working. You can come work with me on Saturdays. And mind you, my grandfather's working in the cemetery. We rebuilding graves in the city. And I get $20 a week, just like my dad. So my dad not giving me allowance because I wanted to listen to hip hop, Lynch Mob, Two Live Crew, made me start. So I started working at 13, man. So for hip hop, to buy hip hop music. You know?
Oh God!
But here's the kicker, bro. You're working in cemeteries.
Right.
Like that's another level, my nigga. Like
I don't know if I would that now.
Okay.
He was doing masonry work, right? So in New Orleans, the cemeteries are above ground because we're below sea level. So we go by we work in that cemeteries where Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen, was buried.
Bro, I said, you know
what?
People
like, yo, how could you work at the cemetery burn?
Oh no!
And I'm like, yo, man, I'm getting paid. I get to buy the Ghetto Boys. I get to buy Ice-T, the Original Gangster.
Oh, the Ghetto Boys would have had to wait, my brother.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I needed it.
Again, for people watching, this dude is 13 working in a cemetery for hip hop. Okay. If that don't talk to you about love for hip hop, bro, I don't know if I'm working in a cemetery. Well, I could do it now. I've conquered my fear of dead bodies, but that was like a fear because I grew up watching the Walking Dead movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I was so shook of those movies. Like when my pop was looking for a new house and he was looking at a house that had them Amityville windows. And I was like, yo, we can't, come on, Dad. Like, you know, he like, nigga, just shut up. I'm gonna buy whatever I want to buy. And I'm like, nigga, just not that. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, that's Amityville, you know? And then we ended up buying a house that was a block away from a cemetery. And I'm like, well, we done. You know, we're fucked. Because when niggas come back to life, like, nigga, we done. We right there. Like, you know what I mean? So
It's
it's like, it's a wrap.
First.
Right. We're the first niggas. Like, nigga, we just watched the fucking, you know, not The Walking Dead, Return of the Living Dead.
Right.
We're done. You know what I mean? So, you know, I definitely was always scared of dead bodies. But eventually I got over my fear. But I feel you. That there's no way at 13 I could work in a cemetery. And I really love hip hop. So I commend you, good brother. I definitely commend you. Definitely. That's love. Bro, what you got for me, man?
So this one involves two singles. So you remember they used to sell like singles in the record store or whatever. So my younger cousin, he used to go to he had a babysitter. He would go to this lady's house in Mount Airy off of Wadsworth Avenue. And sometimes I would go over there. I would go there with him. And it was some guys from around the way. They probably was like 18, 19. And they had all the, you know, they were the cool, you know what they was doing. They had all the clothes and the money and all that. So one day, my uncle took me and my boy to the mall, and he was doing his thing, and we go play the arcade, play Arch Rivals on the at the arcade, and I wanted to go buy two singles. These were my two favorite songs at the time. I'm like 9, by the way, and this is the first time I was gonna buy music with my own money. You know what I'm saying? I had money. I was gonna buy these two singles. It was EPMD Crossover and Faking the Funk main source.
Wow.
Right. So I'm like, yo, I'm telling my boy, I'm like, yo, I'm about to get these. So I go in there and I get Faking the Funk, and I'm looking for the EPMD John, and I see it, and there's one left. So I grab that, boom. So it was kind of like simultaneous. Like when I picked up the tape, the dude, cause one of the dudes' name was Shay from around the way. Him and his friends were in there, and one of them was like, "Yo, y'all got I need that crossover." And they like, "Well, we had one left," and I'm standing there with it, and they look at me, and I'm like, I'm just standing there like I'm 9, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, one of his friends is like, "Oh no, we gotta get that, shorty." I'm like, no. I'm like, hell no, you're not. I'm like, this is mine. Like, and he's like, yo, listen. He was like, Shay was like, because I only knew one of them, and that was Shay. He was like,
yo, question. What's Shay's real name?
Yo, I don't remember. I just know him as Shay. He always brown skin, had the Jeff haircut all the time with the Alpinas on. He was the epitome of a Philly dude, street dude. Like he looked.
All right. Now, I forget that we got an age difference, because my man's name was Von Shay. His name was Shay, but his real name was Von Shay.
But Shay's old. Shay was older than me. Shay was.
That may be.
It may be him.
Yeah.
Shay was older than me. All of them was older than me. You know what I'm saying? So, which is why I was scared when they was like, "No, this is ours." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, no, like, and my boy's like, "Man, you trip." I'm like, no. But I knew Shay. Shay knew me from the babies. From around the way the babysitter.
Right.
So Shay's like telling his man, nah. He said, rap one of the verses and you can have it.
Okay.
Which at the time for that song was not a problem for me, because that was my favorite song at the time. I was so proud. So I rapped the verse, and Shay paid for that. He paid for Faking the Funk, and he bought me like two other tapes, and he paid for it out of his pocket. And I was a happy camper. That was the first, like, my first favorite rapper was LL, right? But that, I don't know what it was about crossover. I heard it in my cousin's Jeep, and I was like, yo, I love, you know what I'm saying? And then Faking the Funk. It was on a soundtrack.
The White Men Can't Jump soundtrack.
Yeah, and it was Extra P and Neek the Exotic.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that song. So I said, I got this money. I got enough to go play the arcade, but this is what I'm about these 2 singles with. You know what I'm saying? And I went in there and I got them, and he bought all of it for me. So
That's dope.
It was a good day.
That's dope. Shit, what do I got? I'll talk about the time Straight Outta Compton. So Straight Outta Compton comes out. I'm a little late on it because, at first I see him with Jerry curls. I'm like, I'm not feeling this shit. You know what I mean? Or whatever like that. And then my man Sean, my old head Sean, was like, yo, man, Kill, listen to this shit. And he played it for me. I was like, yo, that shit crazy. Bro, I go to Cheltenham Mall Record Theater. They don't got it. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I got to get this joint. It's a Friday. I'm like, yo, it's raining. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to the Sound of Germantown. So I get on the XH. It's raining, whatever. Now, Germantown and Uptown, they 2 different places. It's like going to a whole nother. Germantown, you really, to this day, I don't go to Germantown unless you got a reason to be there. There's no just hanging out in Germantown. Like, whether you're going to risk it for a girl or you got to have a reason to go to Germantown. So I was like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm in the rain. Go to Germantown, get a Sound of Germantown, buy the cassette. I'm happy as hell. Get on the XH, back on the bus. I'm soaking wet, popping, and I'm listening to it. Yo, by the time we probably got to the last verse of Fuck the Police, the tape pop, man. I was like,
no.
And official? This wasn't bootleg, right? This was official.
Official, bro. Official.
Oh, man.
Yo, and I'm halfway home, so I'm like, bro, I'm not going back. Trying not to get robbed or jump, going back to Germantown. Or I don't even know if they would I don't even know the tape return policy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what they would do. So it was just salty as hell. Like, damn, like, I don't believe it went out like that. Another quick story, Life After Death, Rel. For me, Life After Death, I would go up to the record store, Broad and Omni, because a lot of times stuff used to come out on Tuesday, but a lot of time the record stores would get it on Friday. You know what I mean? So sometimes you would have it ahead of time. So I went there, got Life After Death, copped it, listened to it, just played it over and over again, loved it. When it came out on Tuesday, I had never seen anything like this before. I went to Circuit City. And I don't know how it was anywhere else, but in Philly, like if you brought something from Circuit City, like a DVD, well, not even DVDs weren't even out. Well, yeah, they just came. No, I don't even know if DVD. If you brought a CD player or something big, you had to like buy it, and then they'd send you to the basement to go pick it up. You know what I mean?
Wow, I remember that?
Yeah. You had to go pick it up. But the crazy thing is I walked in the store and all you heard was Life After Death. I mean, the entire store was playing Life After Death. Normally in Circuit City, they're just playing that in the CD department, and it's kind of on the low. The whole store was playing Life After Death. I go down in the basement, the people getting the boxes, listening to the 10 Crack Commandments. These niggas knew every word. The album just came out. Like, I had never seen anything like it. The closest thing, I've never seen anything like it up to that point. The only thing I ever saw close, well, I guess even bigger than that, was when 50 dropped. Because when 50 dropped, I probably went to about 8-9 stores and they were sold out.
Me too.
Everywhere.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I had never seen anything like that. Like, it was like, yo, I've never experienced nothing like this before, where you're going store to store to store to store, and it was just sold out everywhere. So the big thing was just crazy because everybody already knew like every word to it, like the day of, and it just was a testament to just how big that joint was. You know what I mean? Porsche, I know you said you only had 3. Do you have any more?
I do, but it's not album related, but it's hip hop related.
Yeah. Let me hear. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't remember which Wu-Tang CD it was, but I don't know if you guys remember in the CD booklets at the very end, they would have like a Wu-Wear address for where it was Wu-Wear New York.
Cuban Link had that.
Yeah, Cuban Links had that. And I can't remember, one of the albums I think had a phone, like a 1-800 number where you could call to like order Wu-Wear.
Yes.
But they would never, like I would always call and they would never, they were like, basically if you're in Canada, you're out, like you can't get it. So I was like, okay, where do I find, like it got to the point where I would call and be like, look, I know I'm in Canada, you're not going to ship here. Where can I find Wu-Wear here? And I want like official Wu-Wear. So there's this like one store in Vancouver Man, the area is the dodgiest, most sketchiest area. It's not even called anything. I think there's like a wooden board on the door. And this is like, it's like the size of a fridge. Like the opening is the size of a refrigerator.
What?
This is so I make my mother drive me. Like this is Wu-Tang. Like you guys know, I made an egg for my New Year's table with a Wu logo on it.
Yeah.
So my mom's like, oh fuck, here she goes. So she takes me to this store. She's like, this is where you want to go. We're like she's one of those people who's like, we're women. We can't be here alone. We need a man. Like, what's going on? Why did your dad come? Anyways, we go in this store and I'm like, I want a Wu-Tang sweatshirt. The guy is like, we only have like triple XL size. We don't carry anything for like teens or whatever. And we don't have anything for women. I'm like, I'll take it. Double XL, triple XL, whatever, I'll take it. My mom's like, so I lift up this sweatshirt. It's literally the size of like a curtain. My mom's like, this is what you're gonna wear? I'm like, I swear to God, this is what I'm gonna wear. She's like, it's $95. And this is like way back when, right? So it's like pricey. She's like, I'm not paying $95. I'm literally arguing with her in the store. I'm like, I'm not leaving the store without this sweatshirt. She's like, you're not going to wear this outside with me ever. And I was like, I don't care. I just want it. I end up wearing this thing literally looked like it would cover my whole face down to my like past my knees. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going to cop this. I'm going to wear this. She was like, you're not wearing it ever. Like you are not leaving the house with this attire. So I wore it every day in the house. Every day in the house.
Oh, wow.
And it was the only one I ever got from that store. She was so scared.
Yeah, it was hard, man. We didn't have Wu-Tang stores down here neither in New Orleans, man. So the Wu-Wear struggle was very.
This wasn't a Wu-Wear store. They just had like a section where they carried some Wu-Wear stuff. And I knew it was official because the tag on the sweatshirt matched my CD. And I was like, this is the one. He's like, I only have like triple XL. I'm like, I'll take it. I don't care.
I feel you. Greg Boogie, give me another one, good brother.
All right. So this is a little different. This is I'm gonna call it the curse of Queen Latifah. All right.
All right.
Just feel me on this. All right. So her first album, when it drops, I cop it, right? One of my favorite records of all time. I love it because I was a fan of her, like from Wrath of My Madness or whatever leak, you know, like how we talked about.
How we got the 12 inches,
right. So I guess like during the album run, she did a promo, like she was on promo tour, and she comes to NYU to give like some kind of like lecture, right? Or just like she's there, right? So me, you know, back then I had a little problem with my mouth and also intoxicants and some of the things that would come out of my mouth were crazy, right? So she's giving this lecture, right? And I'm like, I'm drinking. Actually, I was drinking in the lecture. I was drinking 40s, right? So I'm like, I tell my man Mark, I'm like, yo, Mark, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get another 2 40s for me and you, right? So I said, watch this. I get up in the middle of her speaking. And I go, hey, yo, I stopped Latifah and I go, yo, I'm going to go to the store. You want a hero and a 40? Right? Everybody looks at me.
You say this to Latifah?
Yes, I say this to Latifah.
Oh, wow.
She looks at me like, this guy is a fucking idiot, right? Everybody looks at me like, you see the Black Student Congress people, everybody like, they're already drawing the target, like my face, the target, they're going to get me, right? So I leave. I come back, whatever. I make more. I'm heckling from the crowd, whatever, right? So this is where the curse kicks in. She said something when I left, like this guy's like a fool or whatever. She said it PG, right? Somebody told me. So now my girl at the time, the record was at her crib. Within a day, she breaks up with me. Okay, for absolutely no reason. Takes the CD, right? Takes it. I think it was a tape. No, it was the tape, right? All right, fine. A couple of years later, I buy the CD version. I'm like, oh, word. Let me pick this up again. I don't know how this happens. The girl that I'm with breaks up with me within 2 or 3 days of me buying the CD and breaks it, right? Okay, all right, fine. I said, I'm gonna wait this motherfucker out, right?
You like this curse gotta have a time frame.
Right.
Give it 2 more years and then this
Yo,
curse is done.
so now we're like in 99, right? 98, 99. I buy the Queen Latifah CD, right? And I'm with my girl at the time, another girl in the Bronx. And I don't know what it was. I think I might have been staying at her crib. There's a party, right? One of her friends, like a close family friend, but you know, they call a relative, is there. And I noticed she's like a little crazy. Turns out she has like a little crack habit, right? You know, the party goes on, it's fun, whatever, right? The next day I wake up, I'm like, oh, let me go listen to my Queen Latifah CD, right? She stole the Queen Latifah CD, the crackhead. I was like, yo, this is a curse. Like, I was like, I can't buy this. This is 3 in a row. I was like, listen, I'm not buying this CD or this record. I'm not even downloading it now because I'm afraid of what's gonna happen next.
You're gonna get a virus on the computer,
bro. Yeah, bro. And I know it has something to do with what I said to her that day.
Right.
So so that's it.
I thought you was gonna say the curse. I thought you were the responsible party that I still have to watch Latifah on television on the Equalizer. I thought that was.
I'm staying away from
that. There you go.
I'm really wondering when is her run going to be over in television because I don't get it. So, but come on,
it's still on. Is it still airing?
They be trying to get 50 million people watch the Equalizer. No, they fucking didn't. 50 million people didn't see the Equalizer when Denzel was in it. So please don't tell me 50 million people saw it with Latifah.
Is it still airing, Kill?
It's still airing. Yeah, I mean, who the fuck? I mean, here's the thing, y'all. I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't feel like getting canceled. Porsche, I know you gotta get ready to roll. Do you want to give them all your information before you dip out of here?
I mean,
we going. Queen Latifah curses death.
Yeah, honestly, it's just on Twitter at Cherchez Porsche. And we're doing Twitter Spaces. So we've moved Clubhouse over to Twitter. So for now, it's going to be on Twitter Spaces Mondays at 6:15 Pacific time and 9:15 Eastern time. So if you guys are on the TL, jump in. Unfortunately, there's only 10 speakers allowed, but we're ironing out the kinks and getting everybody kind of in and out of the speaker area. So definitely make sure you join.
And I was going to say, we're going to do so because everybody I'm seeing now that we on Twitter Spaces is getting bigger. And everybody don't need to be a speaker. So, but we'll work that out. You know, we'll work that out. But yeah, everybody don't raise their hand, don't ask the question and get the fuck back in the audience. But like, you know, we gotta keep a level on this. At Clubhouse, it was cool because we was only like, you know what I mean, so deep. But now we're like tripling what we got now on Twitter. So we
but it's been dope. We did we saluted Easy Mo B on Monday, and it was one of my favorite conversations ever. I appreciate everyone that comes out and sort of provides input. So thank you guys, and hopefully everyone kind of joins. It'll be good conversation. So thank you. Take care, guys. So good to see all of you. Take care.
Finally, have a good night.
You too. Bye, guys.
JR, what's your last story, good brother?
Well, it's because you did say also an album that we love so much that we listen to, right?
Yeah.
We listen to. All right, so this is going back to 96. We're moving back from South Carolina up north after mom graduated, and we're coming back up north, and I finally get a chance to kind of get into my grandparents' vinyl and 8-tracks, right? So I opened it one day coming from school or whatever, because again, I don't know anybody. I'm back home, but I don't know anybody. Everybody kind of got their own cliques, they doing their own thing. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So, and then my family was very protective. They like, you ain't going nowhere. You stay in the house. You come from school. You come home. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to the china cabinet and I just opened it. And I just remember like, dang, these some big ass cassettes. What the hell is this? Like, I don't even know what they are. Like, I'm like, what the? So I was like, so I saw Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. So I grabbed this 8-track, and I grab it, and my grandparents had the vinyl here, the 8-track here, the CD player here. Like, it was a whole big entertainment system. So I was like, all right. So now I've never heard What's Going On in full. I just heard What's Going On in Inner City Blues. That's all I knew. So I was like, all right. So I put it in, and y'all know with the 8-track, you can't rewind. You can't do none of that. So wherever it starts is where you listening from. So I remember this day, the first song that I heard from it was God Is Love. And I played that thing and I literally sat there for like an hour and a half and just let it ride. And I let that thing play over and over and over again. And I never forget when every day I came home from school, I put that thing in there. So I knew, okay, I knew when I finished playing it when Mom's got home, because I got off at school at 3. I got home at 3. Mom got home at 6:30. So I knew I was playing that album literally for a whole 5 months every day, coming in from there and putting it in. So I knew, all right, I'm getting off with Flying High. I'm coming in the next day, listening to Flying High. And I played that album over and over again until my family got so sick of it. They was like, you're not playing this shit no more. Like, you're tired of hearing this shit. You coming home every day putting this in. And then on the weekends, I ain't home. So I'm always up first. I go to the china cabinet. I throw What's Going On in there. And I'm listening to it constantly on repeat, everything. So that album I listened to every day for like 5-6 months every day. And finally my family was like, all right, enough. Pick another one, please. We don't even give a damn. Please pick another one. So,
bro, do you know how much you had to listen to an album to make black folk hate fucking what's going on?
Right.
Like,
I played that every day. They got sick of it. Oh, absolutely. They got sick of it. They was like, we can't take it no more. Because then on the weekends, they're hearing it more because I ain't going nowhere. So, so it's in there. So it was just like, yeah, that I played over and over and it ended up being my second favorite album of all time, actually. So that album is everything to me. So I just remember the day I heard it and I just played that thing for like 5-6 months every day. So
that's dope. That's dope. Now, Trey, what's your last joint, bro?
50 years, what, in a week, huh, JR?
Yes, sir. On the 21st.
Yeah, great album. All right, I got my last one. I had some more, but I know we getting late, man. Last one I was on, this is New Orleans. I forgot what year it was, but it's a place called Jim Russell Records. It's not here anymore. It's on Magazine Street. It was a 2-story house, 2-story building. You walk in there, it's dirty as fuck, right? Records everywhere. It's a white couple. The older owner, he was kind of a slightly a racist, you know, but I would pay him no mind, like, dude, I don't care. I get in there and she would ask me like, look, instead of you paying, why don't you help me sort these records out? So I'm like, all right, bet. I go to the jazz section and sort the records out. And I ended up finding, I was digging, I think Supreme Clientele just came out. We reading the liner notes, who produced this, and it was the Nutmeg album, right? So Eddie what's his name? Eddie
Holland. Yeah.
Holland. And it was called, the song was called It's Over. So I found that one. And I also found the Ronnie Laws, How Many MCs Must Get Dissed sample. And so I would work there during Irish, St. Patrick's Day, different other holidays, and she would repay me back with maybe 5 to 6 albums. So that was my last one, man.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Bro, what you got?
I hate to end it off with this story because it's so terrible.
There you go.
But listen, I learned a couple valuable lessons from this story. Like how I met Kill we were arguing. Well, not how I met him, but one of our first interactions online, we were arguing about.
Oh, not a shocker.
Ben Simmons. Right. We were arguing about Ben Simmons, right? And we argue, we disagree, and then I just was like, all right, boom. Well, did you hear this? I just like switched the subject, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, you could teach a class on just disagreeing and then it just being that and then moving on to the next subject. I wasn't always like that. And this story is the reason why. Stillmatic. I was in college. Everybody knows I'm a Nas fan. All my friends know I'm a Nas fan. When the takeover came out, that was Nas's lowest point. And people let me know it. And they teased me, they heckled me, they would play the takeover around me and run it back and all that. And it was bad. And it was a bad time for me. And so it was a girl from DC that kind of liked me. She, we were cool. We flirted a little bit. She said, yo, I got something for you. I'm like, okay. So I remember that day Ether came out. Like Ether dropped, you know what I'm saying? And so this girl, for some, I don't know how she got this, but she had the Stillmatic. And she, she liked me, so she saved it for me. So I'm listening to Ether. I'm out of pocket. Like I'm talking so much trash. Like it was like Christmas, bro. Like you gotta understand, they teased me so bad, bro. They teased me so bad. When that shit dropped, I was running through the door. Yo, I was out of pocket. Everybody had to hear it, and so I was playing it for that girl was there, and these two other guys from the dorms or whatever. And we listening, and they like, damn, yo, he killed. And so my boy walks in, one of my friends, diehard Jay-Z fan, right? Diehard. And he's drinking. And so I'm trying to let them listen to the song. And he's like he keep interrupting, like he's wilding. Like, I'm like, yo, chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, fuck that. He's just belligerent. So, mind you, I'm in a room with two dudes that's not really my boys. So if me and him fight, they want to see the shit. They, you know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to break nothing up. Right.
Yeah,
so my man's is like, he's like really doing the most. I'm like, yo, just I'll holler at you later. Like, come. And he's like, nah, fuck that. And he like hawk spit on my floor.
Oh,
I'm just like, listen. So I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, yo, what's up with you, dog? Like, and I don't know what he was drinking, but he like, what? And I'm like coming towards him, and he like spits in my direction. So, spitting, that's like the most disrespectful thing.
Disrespectful, yeah.
Right.
So my reflexes, I just swung on him. You know what I'm saying? So I hit him, and I kind of like, wrestle him out the door. Boom. So I landed one punch. I'll get him out. You know what I'm saying? These two dudes, they want to see this type of shit. But I'm like, I'm here. So I can't go back down here. I'm gone. Now I'm pissed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off. So his mouth is bleeding. He goes down the hall to some mutual friends of ours, and they think he done got jumped. So all of them come down to my dorm room.
Oh no!
And now I'm gone. I'm seeing red. So I'm like, I'm going off. I'm like, why the fuck all y'all coming down here? You know what I'm saying? Y'all wouldn't come down here. You know what I'm saying? For no, y'all ain't his friends like that. What y'all coming down here to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm going off. So he comes back in with a bottle and throws it, and it hits me like in my head. So I go running, and I just dodge my man, and I hit him. Boom. I ain't knock him out, but he was on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And it was just crazy. It was blood everywhere. It was just a big drama, right? And when I calmed down, and I guess he sobers up, He goes to the hospital. His jaw's broke. It's broke. I feel like shit now.
Funny.
I feel like shit. Like the next morning, I feel like shit kind of because I'm like, this is my man. This was my man's. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was way out of pocket, I'm looking at myself like, why am I arguing over some dudes I ain't never met before? And I let it get to that point to where we fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just was thinking what I could have done to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people was looking at me. A lot of people understood, but some people was looking at me like I was like, yo, real crazy. Like, what's wrong with it? You know what I'm saying? And I made sure after that day, I was like, yo, like, we can argue and disagree about music, sports, you know what I'm saying? You know what dudes argue about. Right. I'm not letting it get to that point with people I respect or that I'm cool with. Like, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm a diehard Nas fan, but I don't know Nas personally. So me and Kill can argue over Nas, but I'm not going to take it to the level of where we really beefing. You know what I'm saying? And that situation, all because of Stillmatic and Ether and all that, got it to that situation where I done broke this dude's jaw. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he did split on your floor, though, dog. He did split on your floor. He did.
Look at this dude.
No, Neltron. Yo, you're right. He did. He deserved to get his ass whooped.
Right.
But
he was wrong.
I just had to right. And see, that's what I'm looking at myself like, yo, you know this boy was drinking. Why you just, you know what I'm saying? But once he spit in my direction, my reflex is to swing.
Right,
so it's just like, it was just like, and I said, I felt so bad. Like, if it was some regular dude, I wouldn't have cared. Like, this was my man. So I felt kind of bad when the story get out on campus. You know how it is in college, kid. I'm at Coppin. Yeah. So when the story get out, it's just people saying the wrong shit and saying shit that didn't happen. It just got crazy. You know what I'm saying? The girl was all scared because she was right there when it happened. It was just crazy, man. And, you know.
The funny thing, I'll say this, bro. I'll give you credit because I knew a lot of people who was Nas fans who fucking jumped ship during those takeover years. Yeah, I know a lot. Now the funny thing is they'll try to rewrite history now and be like, nah, no, you left. You left. You know what I mean? And then the second thing is here's the wild part about hip hop is I think why we love it so much. I've seen niggas fight numerous times over who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Like literally. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've seen friends beat the shit out of each other in my apartment for niggas, picking the wrong side. So I mean, it's like you said, it's bad, but it's like it's just how much we love hip hop. You know what I mean? And there was when that Nas and Ether was going, when that Ether takeover thing was going on, bro, it was and then Nas releasing that on Jay's Born Day too. Like it was like
that for y'all.
Because it was a tipping point with me. It was a tipping point with me because I got teased so much.
Right.
That when Ether came out, it was a different feeling. I was happy, but it was like, I'm gonna make y'all gonna feel this. Pause. Y'all gonna I'm gonna make sure y'all tease me. Y'all kept playing this shit. And I said, y'all gonna hear this. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody told me my man was through. And I was riding. I was still holding out faith. And they was like, yo, Nas is done. It's no way he coming back from that. I said, yo, just wait. And when that shit dropped, it was like Christmas for me, dog. Like, for real.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I thought Nas was done. See, that's the thing with me. I don't rewrite history. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is the point of me lying? Like, yo, I thought Nas was done. I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what I mean? But you talk to people now, it's like, I always knew Nas had something in the chamber coming for Jay.
No, they did. No, they did. Everybody wrote him off. Everybody wrote him off.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Yo, Greg Boogie, tell them where they can get at you, good brother. Let them know where they can follow you, get at you, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So on Twitter, it's 43rd Bandit. And I'm writing again for Scientific Inquirer, music editor, actually. And I go by Greg C., the old pen name. And if you somewhere in Queens, you probably gonna see me.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you the first person I'm hitting as soon as I get up to NY, B. You the first person because I need that tour of Queens. I need that tour.
Oh, no question.
That tour. That's a done deal. JR, where can they get at you, good brother? Where can they hear the radio show? Everything you and Elise got going on.
Yeah, check out the R&B Representatives. It's me and Elise. You can go to rnbreps.com, which is our website, which you can find everything. Our radio show, which is on every Thursday on WFDU 89.1. HD2 on iHeartRadio. We do our lives every other week. We started our show Catch That, which you and was the last episode that we did. Our next episode is with DJ Monday Blue. We talked about Natalie Cole's Unpredictable album, which is dope, which we really got deep with that one. So that's really a dope episode. Yeah, but just check the R&B Reps. You can follow me on Twitter at JR World of Soul, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. But check out the R&B Reps, and shout out to my boys. We made the playoffs, and we won tonight. So shout out to my Knicks right there. That's what it is.
Yo, where y'all at? What place are y'all in right now?
Fourth.
That's dope. That's
yes,
dope.
Sir.
That's another thing. I made this New Year's resolution years ago to admit when I was wrong. I was wrong about Tibbs, but I will say this: from what I heard, Tibbs changed the way that so he's not the same Tibbs, and that was my knock on Tibbs, that he runs his players into the hole. But definitely salute to you guys. Neltron, let them know where they can get at you, good brother.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Neltron, Twitter and IG Neltron 8000.
All right, no doubt. Rel, let them know where they can get at you, bro.
Twitter JBen215, Instagram Uptown JBen.
All right, and y'all already know this with me. Kill 889 on Twitter. IG will make beats for food. I'll check y'all next week, y'all.
Salute.
One love.
Peace.